All right, what's up, everyone? Back with another throwing video. Um, this week has been had a lot of ups and downs in throwing. Um, some things were good, some things not so good. Um, but let's talk about my stones for a minute. So I've told you and I've told myself like a bunch of times that um, in the future, now I'm going to start putting a lot of emphasis on my stone throws. I feel like I really got to build those up. We got 9 events, and the stones are a real weak point in my game. I lose a lot of points every games to like the stones, um, and so I was going to put a lot of emphasis on that, really build those up. And how I planned on doing that was a lot of drills, a lot of like isolation, like technique type work, and a lot of repetition. And I decided I'm not going to do that. That is generally a good idea if you're trying to build up an event. Is to like focus on it, and break it apart and build it up, and that'll be good. It's a good idea. But like, man, I just right now with like my elbows, my right elbow especially, like that big flick off your fingers, like and that little slap of the elbow is just killing me. It's like it might be like tendonitis, might be something more. I don't know, but we're not going to push it too hard. And I'm trying to justifying it by one, rest is good. You don't need to overdo it for no reason. And two, um, for the last few years, I've been on a trajectory of like my stones are they're coming up. Every games I kind of get a little bit better. I'm averaging in practice better than I was last year. Like we're getting better and better every time. Doing the throwing that I am doing, which is essentially pretty much every practice, 2 to 3 days a week. I'm throwing Braemar stone and I'm throwing open stone. I'm doing them both for like 10 throws each, 5 to 10 throws each, multiple times a week, and that might be enough. I think it's going to be enough for now. And so going forward, we're not going to like do like the big like long grind, like tear it apart, build it up, stone throws. We're just going to keep doing what we're doing and work on the little things here and there to try to make it better. But we got 7, 8 other events to focus on. So, and if you look here on these lightweights, I'm messing these up pretty bad. And if I'm putting too much emphasis on one thing, it's gonna show up as a deficiency somewhere else, right? So you got it's a real balance point. I'm not ready to give up too much on the stones quite yet. But if you watch those lightweights, like I kept blowing out to the left, I'm over rotating out the back. I think a lot of that had to do with just fatigue. I just wasn't being quick on my feet. I was being really sloppy. But it is what it is. We move on. They get better later in the week, and you'll see. Here we got light hammer. I only threw light hammer this week. Um, these were actually pretty good. My technique was not like watching it. It's not what I want to see, but they're going kind of far. Granted, the ground isn't flat. There's a bit of a slope to this field, but this is the only place where there's good shade at the park at this time of day. And this day was hot. It was close to 100 degrees this day, which is no fun. But so you take what you get. You throw downhill in the shade sometimes. But I think my best one is like 129, which for how sloppy my technique is looking to me in my eyes, like I'm not happy with what's happening here. I think that's pretty good. 129 is a high, and the low is like 121, so not awful. Um, but looking at these, I need to keep my right side a little bit more to the right. And towards the end of the practice, right there, I gave it a bunch to the right and kind of lost myself. I've never been a big person who's like, oh yeah, like really dump that right shoulder on your high point and get that right the weight on the right side like swinging around you. Um, and my thought has always been put it towards the right side. It doesn't have to be super far back because it's going to drift forward throughout the throw, and it's not super critical. Um, I've gotten a little too relaxed in that to where my low point is drifting too far forward because I'm not putting it to the right enough. So we're going to fix that in the future. Um, but here we got the sheaf toss in the front yard where all the kids ride some bikes. This day actually went pretty good. You can't tell because I didn't do the heights. I didn't like back the camera up. I wanted to get a closer, like close up version of my sheaf toss so you guys can see it, so I can see it. I mean, I do really like having the camera back and see how high it goes based on like the branches and whatnot. Kind of compare myself to myself from 3 weeks ago, see how that looks. But I'm liking what I'm seeing here in Chief. I'm just the intensity is kind of low, and I think that's just because of what this week is. Very low intensity because I'm tired. Um, but then we go from the backyard or the front yard to the backyard and throw some wob with the chicken. Um, this wob session, just kind of like how they've been. Like I'm not making it over every time. Like that one went over pretty good. I'll take like maybe 10 poles and three of them go over, and I don't feel super bad about that. Like it's okay. I know what I'm doing is working. I just got to find that rhythm. There's a nice little rhythm I like to have with wob, and like I'm finding it and then I'm losing it and finding it, I'm losing it, and but when I find it, it makes me feel super good. So even with like I miss, I'm not super bummed out by it. I know the height's coming up, it's getting there, um, but I know it could be better, and so we're working on that. 15's in the books. It's coming. It's in the books soon. You'll see. I'm telling myself more than anyone. All right, so now we got another day throwing stones. Man, this day I kind of had some breakthroughs here. I felt like that one wasn't it, but like there's a couple of them there like where like I'm finishing big and tall, big chest. Um, I'm utilizing the belt again on the Braemar. Uh, I feel like I like that. Um, you can't see it, but I am wearing a neoprene soft belt underneath my shirt and that overbelt. My back's feeling a little sore, so I decided to like put that underbelt on, um, and then with like the overbelt, the nylon one. Uh, it might be a good combo for Braemar. We'll see. Then the open stone here. These were these are okay. My technique was sloppy, but they were going far enough for an average practice. I think my best was like 46, which um, is decent for me. And my worst one was like 39, which I think was actually that first one where I just fouled hard. And I'm pushing hard to the left, and I keep stepping on the trig. I'm swinging wild. Um, Not great, but some of those like the good ones were good, but the bad ones were really bad, right? But this whole session was like the stones and weights. It was just for heavyweight. I'm coming out here to throw heavyweight. I've had some stuff on my mind last couple days before this that like I want to do with the heavyweight. Um, some of these were actually really bad on the heavyweight. Like that one, I lost my belt mid throw. I don't know what that was, but like once I started getting dialed in, there's a stick there I was stepping on, and I felt that halfway through the throw. But once I get it dialed in, I have a bunch of good ones. I had a bunch out at like 36, one at like 37. Um, they were good. The problem was like I felt too light on my feet. So like the little thing that I wanted to work on was a big, tall, like boom explosion up high. Um, it wasn't like happening. I think because like I just feel like I'm not heavy enough right now for the heavyweight. For how hard I want to push that weight, I feel like I need 20, 30 more pounds on my body. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I'm a firm believer that 240 is not heavy enough to throw the 56. I think, see right there, like I'm trying to get that big loft and I just lift up. I have no anchor. I don't know. Maybe it's just me in like, athlete insecurity that I think I need to be bigger and stronger. But I do believe that 240 pounds is for body weight is too light for the 56 to get big nasty like throws. I mean, because we all want to be over 40 with the 56, but it's kind of hard to do unless you're 6'5", 310, right? All right, then we move into some lightweight. This lightweight session was crappy for no reason. And I mean, there was one reason why it was crappy, and that's because I forgot my hand placement. I only figured it out towards like the last like three throws that how I've been doing it is like I'm facing my palm down through the spin right there. Like my hand is like way too flat. What I want to do, what is the better way to do it, is palms out, thumbs up. Like I feel like I get feet further. by just kind of changing my wrist placement. That's it. And I just wasn't doing it until like towards the end. I was like, oh my gosh, you dork! Like, you know better. But that and like so the hand placement and like my speed and intensity, I just didn't have it this week, and I know that. Um, but we got big things in the future. I talked about in the last in the lifting video that we got a new training block coming up that we're going to be grinding pretty hard on. We're all the little things here and there that I'm missing out on. We're going to really lock down and see if there needs to be some other types of changes I need to make. We'll go through that as it comes. But if you made it this far in the video, let me know in the comments what you think of it. Again, I'll bring this up again. I've talked about it once before. I am opening myself up to throws coaching. So if you guys are new to the games or needs an extra pair of eyes on like your videos, let me know. Send me a DM on Instagram and I'll help you. As always, throw far. God bless.